In this episode, we will be discussing Connecticut Landlord Tenant laws. The following is a summary of landlord tenant laws in the state of Connecticut as they apply to residential rental property. Topics include disclosures, withholding rent, the right to enter, security deposits, eviction and termination, late fees, and more. Required disclosures. When the rental property is in a common interest community, a landlord must give tenant written notice before signing a lease. Before tenancy begins, a landlord must disclose the name and address of the person authorized to manage the premises and the person who is authorized to receive all notices, demands, and service of process. Security deposit limit. If the tenant is under the age of 62, the security deposit may be the equivalent of 2 months' rent. If the tenant is 62 or older, the limit is 1 month's rent. Deadline for returning a security deposit. The security deposit must be returned within 30 days after the tenant has surrendered the rental property or within 15 days of receiving the tenant's forwarding address, whichever is later. Security deposit interest. Interest must either be added to the security deposit annually or credited towards rent. It's the landlord's option. The interest rate must be equal to the average rate paid on savings deposits by insured commercial banks as published by the Federal Reserve Board Bulletin, rounded to the nearest 0.1%. Late fees. A late fee may not be assessed until 9 days after rent is due, and the parameters for doing so must be specified in the lease agreement. If not, a late fee cannot be arbitrarily charged. Increasing rent. No notice is required to propose a rent increase unless a prior time frame was originally agreed upon. Tenants may challenge the increase if it is excessive. Therefore, it is wise for lease agreements to address the potential for an increase if any are anticipated. It's important to note it is illegal to propose more rent to discriminate or retaliate against a tenant. Withholding rent. If a landlord fails to make timely repairs that affect the health and safety or habitability of the unit, a tenant may either withhold rent or fix the problem and deduct the amount of repair from the rent. However, the landlord must be informed of the problem and given a reasonable amount of time to take care of it first. Terminating tenancy and eviction. An unconditional 3-day notice to quit or face eviction may be used for non-payment of rent, serious nuisance, the same lease violation occurring within 6 months relating to health and safety or materially affecting physical premises, or the lease has ended. A 15-day cure or quit notice is to be used for all other lease violations. The right to enter. While there is not a specific time frame, the landlord must give the tenant reasonable notice in order to enter the property. For more information, additional laws and articles can be found at AmericanLandlord.com.